Good evening. You're watching the Manila Times News Prime. Today, September 22nd, our top story. President Marcos wants those behind the riots at the anti-corruption protests to be held accountable. He ordered agencies to investigate and charge all parties who tainted the peaceful rallies with violence. The palace has condemned the violent acts. The rioters threw bottles and other items at anti-riot police stationed at the Mendiola Peace Arch in Manila. Another group set fire to a motorcycle and a container van near Ayala Bridge. On September 21st, thousands gathered for anti-corruption protests for flood control projects called Baha sa Luneta and the Trillion Peso March. In other news, Senate President Tito Sotto met with officials of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure or ICI. Sotto says the commission asked him to provide guidance on the legislative process on budget realignments and insertions. These are the issues which have been raised in corruption allegations tied to flood control projects. Details of the discussions were not immediately disclosed, but Sotto confirmed they were meant to ensure coordination between the Senate and the Commission ahead of its first hearing. Meanwhile, House Speaker Faustino Bojiti is in favor of leaving the investigations into alleged corruption in flood control projects to the ICI. The House Tri-Panel Committee started a probe on flood control projects last September 2. D says he prefers submitting all the committee reports to the ICI. In related news, Senate President Pro Tempore Panfilo Lacson says Congress should be held primarily responsible for the systemic corruption in flood control projects. He described it as the original sin behind substandard and ghost infrastructure projects. Lacson says that if congressmen and senators did not insert funds, there would be no funds for corrupt DPWH officials to play with. He called on Congress to exercise self-restraint by stopping the practice of inserting funds for local infrastructure projects. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, which Lacson chairs, is set to resume hearings tomorrow. And finally, the Manila Times Sustainability Champions Awards 2025 will be held tomorrow at the Conrad Manila Hotel. The event will also feature the launching of the Manila Times Sustainability magazine. The theme of the event is Envisioning Our Green Future. And that's all for now on the Manila Times News Prime. For more news and information, read the Manila Times on print. Subscribe to its digital edition or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And remember to stay safe, stay informed, and stay connected. I'm Ezra Abad Raya, sitting in for Michael Ang. Good evening.